welcome to the World Legacy Project. I'm very honored to have Daniel Gutierrez with us this morning, who is a world transformational leader. Quite an amazing thing to be. Tell us a bit about yourself, Daniel.
Oh, gosh. I don't even know where to begin. My life has been such a blessing. And of course, I got to say this because I really have enjoyed just being with you and seeing you and participating, seeing your music. I'm so touched. So I'm honored to be here and to be part of your project. To me, being a transformational leader is being a catalyst for transformation and being an authentic catalyst. And I think there's a really big difference between just transformation and authentic transformation. And being in a space, no matter where I'm at, whether it be in corporate America, whether it be advising the White House, or whether it be here at a transformational seminar, being in the space to recognize that my gift that I've been given is to be a catalyst for transformation. And so I say transformational leader, world leader, because I see that no matter where I go and no matter what I see, no matter where I may be coming from, that I am here to be a catalyst for that type of authenticity. And so world means global, global means everywhere, and I encourage everyone to join me in that process.
Right, thank you. Well, we've been so amazed actually by Daniel and a lot of his accomplishments that he is one of our newest and latest living legacies.
Thank you. I'm honored.
For which we're very, very honored to actually have you as one of the living legacies.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit more specifically about some of your achievements. I know that you've been honored by the Hispanic community, that you work in the consultancy capacity with the White House.
Well, you know, I'll start with the Latin Business Magazine. 2 years in a row actually listed me as one of the top most influential Hispanics in the country. So, and it's only 100. There's 100 on that list. So it's a huge accomplishment and a huge honor to be listed with people like Oscar de la Hoya or the mayor of Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa, or people, Edward James Olmos, people who are very well recognized in the entertainment arena and in the sports arena. And so it's an honor to me to be listed there because it means that they're honoring my position and my space in this world as a leader. And also made the front cover of Latin Business Magazine a year ago, which was an amazing thing because I don't think that was in my thoughts, but when they asked me to be, would you be on the front cover, I thought, me? Really? I'm going to be the lead? Wow, I was so honored by that because it really was just another sign, I think, that I was on the right path. And currently I do serve as an advisor to the Department of White House Personnel for President Obama. And basically what that is just, you know, being available as a leader in the Hispanic community. When the White House calls for special positions within the White House, I'm one of the people that get the phone call to say, can you help us with that? And who do you know? And I reach into my database and I go, I absolutely want to see people serving our country. And that also goes back to the part of influence and how important influence is as an individual. So that's kind of a little bit of what I do. So.
That's pretty amazing. Can you get me a job?
Yeah, hey, well, let's go check it out. I'd love to see you dancing on the White House floor.
Right, well, so continuing with looking at what it means to be a living legacy, what does that mean to you, to be living your legacy? Because one of the things we are very aware of in the World Legacy Project is that we live our legacy moment to moment. It's not something we leave behind us.
Yeah, to get the opportunity, to be aware and to be present enough to be in the space to understand that our legacy is, it's kind of like, you know, I can't wait to get to heaven. What do you mean? Heaven is now. Heaven is now. You know, behold, that heaven is in you. It's the same thing. Our legacies we're living now. I want people to remember me as being those things that I put out there, like have integrity and authenticity. But I want them to experience that now. I want to be part of that. I don't want something that's going to go on the shelf. I want something that we can together be in that space and understand that living that legacy is holding ourselves accountable for the now, for what we're doing in this moment, and being so in alignment with our vision for our life that we understand that the moment we're living in right now is where our legacy is. Right now, right here, where we're empowering our children, where we're empowering our governors, where we're empowering our leaders, where we're empowering our globe, is now. I heard an incredible quote after 9/11 that I absolutely think exemplifies what you're doing, and that was this bishop in the New York Times said, "Build your memorials." I said, "Build them high. But I say to you that the greatest memorial you can build is to be a walking memorial and live it."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's what I think that means.
I love it. I love it. So share with us, Daniel, some of your most momentous legacy moments, if you will.
Oh, I have one that just touches my heart, and that is the moment that my son was born. Typically, the mother is the one that gets the baby. I got the baby. They handed him to me, and I just remember looking at this child, and just it's even hard to explain. Just knowing the responsibility that I had to leave a legacy for this child and to be a legacy while I was around, because my father was killed in a car accident when I was 5. So I'm looking. I have to be around. I have to empower this child. I mean, that to me was important because I was the last male in my family tree, and now I had an heir.
Right.
And I want to share this with you because I think it's important. I named him Aaron, and people ask me, why did you name your son Aaron? It's a biblical name, and it's Jewish actually. You know, it's not Latino, right? It's not Pepe or Louis. And so I said, I named him Aaron because in the Bible, Moses carried people to the Promised Land, but he didn't cross into the Promised Land. He didn't cross the Jordan River. Aaron took them and took them into the Promised Land. And my goal is that I will never ever get to see the end of my work. I know that, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that this child, this Aaron, will continue my work when I'm gone. And so I named him Aaron, that he would carry the people over to the Promised Land, carry them into Jordan, carry them across the Jordan River for me. Because I know, son, I can only do so much in my lifetime. And that's why I named him Aaron. And I think that's the most incredible moment where I felt that I had a legacy and a moment that I'd absolutely cherish.
Absolutely. I can feel your emotion and love for him.
Oh, you're a great kid. Yeah.
Very, very wonderful. Are there any other moments you would like to share?
There is another moment that most recently happened, and I didn't mention that I am the president of an organization in New York City called Primer. It is an organization of high-powered Latinos and Latinas in America. And when I became president, these were C-suite level people, CEOs, CFOs. I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
And so really for all practical purposes, I probably not the guy they thought they should be running that organization. But I had mentored one of these C-suite level guys who now is working for a very large bank in America. And it just so happened that my inauguration happened to be when he was sponsoring the event. And I got to the place where I was being inaugurated, and he says, I have a gift for you. And he says, you've done so much to help me get to where I am today that I remembered something that you said to me 5 years ago. You came to New York City, and people were asking, how can we serve you? What is it you want here in New York City? And I had said, can anyone take me to the Blue Room in the NBC Tower to have dinner? Well, nobody was a member. Nobody could get me there. And so fast forwarding to that night when I was being inaugurated, he says, come here. And we get to the room, and he opens the doors, and there I was, towering over that building, the NBC building, and he says, this is for you. And I looked at New York City, and it was such a moment of clarity, of being authentic enough to accept the gift of being on the 75th floor of this beautiful building in New York City, and that I was being inaugurated as a leader amongst leaders. Was so humbling for me, and such a moment where I felt I was living my legacy.
Yes.
Because the challenge there was, be you.
Right.
No matter who's here, be you. And that was another moment where I absolutely did. And they gave me a gift that night that I have hanging in my office. And if you can remember, if the Obama had this hope poster that was going around,
right.
that people loved, an artist actually painted that picture with me in it. And so I was that picture, and it said hope underneath it, and I was just in tears. I was like, okay, I know this is supposed to be like a corporate thing, but I was touched. I was touched that people looked at me that way, and so that was an incredible moment.
Right. Very easy to see that in that way. I've seen you now numerous times presenting and speaking, and I hold you integral.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Amazing, amazing.
Thank you so much. And so are you.
Well, let's go on. I would like to ask you, what's next for you? What's in the future?
You know, World Transformational Leader says to me that the world, that the globe is my playground. Right. And I say I live in Los Angeles, but I just live there. That's it. I see the globe as this huge opportunity. And so here's an intimate thought of mine, a goal. And I see this, and I know it's going to happen, and it's coming, and that is that I see an arena, and I'm going to be really specific, probably in Mexico City, because Mexico City has 23 million people, and I see 20,000 people in one arena, which is not difficult to do.
What a wonderful, wonderful vision, Daniel. You know, I can see this 20,000 people with a selection of world transformational leaders such as yourself.
Yes.
With the intention to change our world and move it on to its next stage of evolution.
Absolutely.
So how do we get hold of you? How do people stay in touch with you, see the work that you're doing?
Okay, well, there's a few ways, but my website is www.danielgutierrez.com, and let me spell the last name, GUTIERREZ.com. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on YouTube, you can find me, I mean, you just name it, I'm there. So most of the time you can pull up my email, daniel@danielgutierrez.com is where you'll find me, but my, what do they call it, a handle or whatever is Motivator Dan. So on
Motivator Dan.
Yeah.
I love it.
So on Twitter it's Motivator Dan, and on LinkedIn it's Motivator Dan, and Facebook, and my Facebook page is full. So make sure you go to the public figure page, where now I'm building another group, because the one I have now is full. I can't accept any more friends. I have 1,000 people on the waiting list there. Wow. So I just please do the public figure one, and you'll find me there. And I'd love to stay in contact with all of you.
Absolutely.
And let's dream together. Let's rock the world.
Living Legacy, Daniel Gutierrez. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.